Hi, friends. So now we're on lesson 5. Um, so lesson 5 really talks about simplifying fractions by pulling out the GCF. So again, we've already been discussing simplifying fractions, and we have already simplified fractions. So it's really up to you how you go about simplifying your fractions. You can use your divisibility rules. You can always, if it's an even number, continually divide out by 2. I will show you this way. This is an alternative way that you can simplify your fractions by pulling out the GCF, your greatest common factor, which you have been previously taught through the green book, the earlier book you used, greatest common factors. So you can utilize this method. Each student prefers their own method, but I will teach you this method. Okay. So simplifying fractions by pulling out your GCF. So if you use this method, you got to remember to use how to utilize your factor tree, which you have to utilize anyways during the next couple units that I'm going to teach you. So let's review how to utilize a factor tree. So you're going to have a fraction. So the fraction we're trying to simplify is the fraction of 30 over 36. And the question is, how do you simplify this fraction? By pulling out your GCF, okay? Not by dividing 2 out. You can simplify this fraction by saying 30 is divisible by 2 and 36 is divisible by 2 and keep dividing until you get the most reduced number. You could do it that way, but this question's asking you to do it by dividing out by your GCF. Okay, so I take 30 and I do a factor tree. So I say, what number times what number gives me 30? Remember, I always take my prime number and take it and put it out to my left. So 5 is a prime number, so I put it to the left. 6 is not a prime number. It can continue. As you can see, you can divide more numbers out. So I put it to my right. 6, I think what times what gives me 6? 3 and 2, both of which are prime numbers. Okay, you'll see why I circled them in a minute. I'll wait. Normally you circle all of your prime numbers, but this time I didn't because you'll see for 1 second. Just give me 1 second. So now 36, okay? I think what times what gives me 36? 6 times 6 gives me 36, okay? So now what times what gives me 6? 3 times 2 gives me 6, both of which are prime numbers, so you're done. Over here, 3 times 2 gives me 6, both of which are prime numbers, so you're done. You can't simplify any further. It's done. Okay, so why did I circle my 3 and 2? Remember, you're looking for your greatest common factor. The numbers that 30 and 36 have in common are 1, 3, and 1, 2. 1, 3, and 1, 2. I can't circle this 3 and 2 because then I'm saying this side has 2 3s and 2 2s as well, and it does not. It only has that 1, 3, and 1, 2. So each side I only circled the 1, 3, and 1, 2 to indicate they both have 1, 3, and 1, 2 in common. With that said, up here you say, what's your GCF? Your GCF is 3 times 2 because you're looking for your greatest. So you take the 3 and you multiply it by 2, and that gives you your 6. So your greatest common factor is 6. Again, this is all a review of previously taught material. So what I'm doing right now is just a review. You should already know how to do this. So now your GCF is 6. So now this is the new part, okay? So now they're saying you're given a fraction and they want you to reduce the fraction by pulling out your GCF. So I know my GCF is 6, so I'm going to say 30 divided by 6 and 36 divided by 6. So 30 divided by 6 is 5. 36 divided by 6 is 6. So my final answer is 5, 6. So that is why they ask you to pull out by your greatest common factor, because then you don't have to go through the process of step by step by step continually dividing out. So for instance, if we would have done it the other way that most kids prefer, if you see 2 even numbers, you know it's divisible by 2, keep dividing by 2 till you get your final answer. This is how many steps you would have had to do. Let me get another marker. That must have been open for too long. All right. So if I divide by 2 the first time, 30 divided by 2 is 15. Okay. So 36 divided by 2. 2 goes into that once, 2 goes in that. So do that in your calculator. 18, I think. I don't know why I'm blocking on this right now. I think it's 18. I'm so sorry, friends. Divide by 2. Yes, 18. Sometimes Miss Fisher draws a blank. So I have 15 over 18. So now it's not going to be a 2. I don't know if you can see that good. Hopefully you can. I have to write real small in case you have to keep dividing now. So that was already once I had to divide out. So we only had to divide by once here. So now 15 over 18, I know both of them are divisible by 3. So now I got to divide by 3. So 15, 3 goes into 15 5 times. 3 goes into 18 6 times. So this time I only had to do one extra step. So you divide by 2 and you only had to do the one extra step on this side. So, I mean, again, it's really up to you if you, whichever method you prefer to do. If you want to do one extra step and just keep it simple, 2 is a really easy number to divide by. I don't want to figure out the GCF. By all means, whichever method is most comfortable to you. All right. So again, this lesson, oh, let me do a couple more for you. This lesson is just about simplifying fractions by pulling out the GCF. So let me just do one more. We have 24 over 36. So again, we're going to work through a factor tree. So if I'm doing a factor tree, I'm going to say, I always, when I'm working a factor tree, I want to see if I can pull out a prime number. So I know I can. I got a 3 and I got an 8. 3 times 8 is 24, right? I want to see if I can pull out a prime number, and I can. So I got a 2 and I got a 4 because 2 times 4 is 8. Then it just leaves me with 2 prime numbers. Okay. This one, I'm just going to do 6 times 6 because everyone knows 6 times 6 is 36. 6, 6, and then they factor out to 2 primes, so that's super duper easy. 3, 2, 3, 2. All right, so then again, GCF, you're looking at what they have in common on each side. I have a 3 in common, a 3 in common, a 2 in common, a 2 in common, another 2 in common, another 2 in common, and that's it. Okay, because there's not another 2 on this side, I can't circle it. There's not another 3 on this side, I can't circle it. So they're the only ones they have in common. So the GCF would be 2 times 2 times 3. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, so their GCF is 12. So what they're saying is they want you to pull 12 out of these. Okay, so they're saying simplify the fractions by utilizing the GCF. So 24 divided by 12 is 2. 36 divided by 12 is 3. So if you simplify this fraction, it's just 2/3. Now let's see how many steps you would have had to do if you use pulling out the 2 method. Okay, so 24 divided by 2 is 12. 26 divided by 2 is 13. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's not 26, it's 36. I'm like, why is there a mistake here? Okay, let's try that again. Miss Fisher messed up. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so now that it's correct, 2 goes into 36 13 times, right? Check that. 10, 23, that's not right. That's not right. My sister's making mistakes, friends. I know, my brain must be fried. 36 divided by 2. 18. I'm sorry, I did that again. 18 times. My brain is like done for today, I guess. So now 2 goes into 12 6 times. 2 goes into 18 9 times. 2 goes into 6 3 times. Oh, we're not doing it by 2 now. We're doing it by 3s. So 3 goes into 6 2 times. 3 goes into 9 3 times. So now we have the same fraction. However, this time we had to divide. We had to do 1 step, 2 step, 3 step. So we had to do 3 steps. And for this one, we only had to do 1 step. So you had to do a couple more steps if you divide it out by 2. Again, it's completely up to you which way you want to use. Either way you come to the same exact answer. Okay? All right, so let's do some practice, and I'll see you again in a little bit. Bye now.